Wonderful. Sign into chat. You cannot be performed inside the interactive. Open this chat in the browser. Welcome to chat. Let's take live chat. Now we should be able to see if you write something, and yeah, it's Sunday, so stream day, which is great. We are doing tapestry today, so I have my coffee and my water and bring my A game. You know, this needs some nerves, if one might say. And I will open up the YouTube here to see what happens. YouTube, just to check that everything works before we start to have this project going forward. So tapestry, let me change this scene so you can see what I am saying. So here we have the work, and then underneath we have the chart. This is a huge project, to be honest. I kind of regretted starting it already once, but I'm gonna do it now that I've started it. It looks great, though. It looks very great. And I love it, but it takes so much time. Like, the fastest rounds, which are mostly weight, like these rounds, they take like 20 minutes to make. And if I have a round that has a lot of colors like these ones, so I have to do a lot of color changes, it might take 30 minutes to make the round. So approximately, I would say 25 minutes per row, and that also means that it's taking hell of a lot of time. Oh no, sorry. Mene pois. Et. So 3 minutes into a stream, the kids need me. So yeah, this is a Christmas present for my daughter, and it's I think the picture came from her. So it's a Fleetwood Mac logo. I assume it's from some of their like album covers. So we are getting to the Fleetwood Mac text within a couple of rounds. But yeah, it will take me hours and hours and tens of hours to have this done. But it's a hobby. We love it. So, and I assume everything is working. At least the hello. So yeah, it takes a long time, and the way I'm doing this is only right to left. And because it's crochet and we have the lean to consider, I'm only using back loops. So to minimize the lean, there will still be some, but blocking will fix it. I've tested it. This is my first large scale project I'm doing. And so far, so good. How is everyone's Sunday going? Do you have your own project? I know this, but I mean, seriously, I calculated yesterday that if I would sell it, so to make 20 euros or well 20 whatever currency per hour, I would have to sell this for over 2,000 euros. So it tells how many hours it will take. Like, it's crazy. But you know, I do this while I watch on TV shows, and I go live and I do this. So it's like I try not to stress about it, but it takes a hell of a lot of time. But in general, I like to do the big project more than the small ones, because when I commit myself to it, I want it to be spectacular and large. but I know it takes a lot of time, and for someone who wants things to get ready very fast, it's maybe not the project. But for me, I also think like I sometimes abandon projects as well, so it's not like I'm perfect. It's more like, did I do that round already? I did. This is round 71. If I get tired of it, I do something else for a while, and then I get back to this. So I have the last week's cardigan project going as well, so I can change between the projects. But the cardigan project is on hold because I'm out of yarn and the shipment didn't arrive yet. So I need 3 more skeins of the pink yarn because she changed her mind and wanted to have an oversized cardigan instead of a fit one. So I need to add some panels to make it larger. So that's why we're doing this one right now. I was thinking about maybe tomorrow making the cardigan. And if you were here last week when we made the squares for the cardigan, I now have the tutorial up for it, so you can go and check it out. I try to be as clear as possible, even though it is sometimes a bit hard to put yourself in the shoes of a total beginner, but I try to pay attention to the things that I think might be a bit hard to understand if you are not seasoned crocheter. But and I also like give feedback. I want to be better now that I'm doing the videos. It would be very nice if anyone, you know, just tell me if I'm doing something wrong, or if I treat some things differently than you would like to see, you know, the tricky parts or something like that. Because what's tricky for me might not be tricky for someone else. So we are getting closer to the black one. So we are going past the flower. And that's when I chose the black yarn to be a bit thinner than the rest of the yarns. So it's a different yarn than the ones I have for the rest of the colors. And that's because I wanted it to seem like it's sitting a bit behind of the rest of the colors. And so far, I think it's working. I think it looks like I want it to look. But the yarn is very annoying. It's a bit more flexible and it drives me crazy because it's also splitting. Now we need the black one. So this is the black one. It's basically the same. It's cotton yarn as well, but it's just different brand. I went in with these ones and I checked that it has the same recommendation for the hook, but it is obviously a lot thinner. I know it looks so good. I've never done anything so big and so like detailed. I've done a lot of projects, smaller ones with more like maybe 2 colors, maybe 4 colors. This one has like 12 colors and a lot less color changes than this one, but it's looking brilliant, if I can say that myself. But I love it. Making it sometimes is it's not as fun, but this is now worth of 2 weeks of work. I work full time, so I don't do this like all day, every day. But I said in the beginning that it takes me around 20 minutes per round. So, and this is round 71. So someone with very fast calculations, let me check it. So if I have 71 rounds and I use 20 minutes per round, and if I divide it by 60, I get 23 hours in so far. So I'm like 20, a bit more than 20% done. So it's gonna take a lot more hours, but it's been fun. It's been fun. No worries. It's a passion project, you know. I'm not selling this because if I would sell this, I would need a hell of a lot of money and nobody would pay that much. But that's also why I have to have a full-time job on top of this. But I also have smaller project on the side just to, have something ready as well. Do you have some projects underway at the moment? I know. Me neither. This is the first one. I'm determined to finish this, like, no matter what. And I'm gonna do it, but it's a very large project. And next time I will have to do one for my other daughter as well for Christmas. And I started early because I knew it would take time. I didn't know it would take this much time, but I started early, so I have time, but I will make a smaller one, maybe half of this. It will still take a lot of, hours, but still. Yeah, I also have a granny square, but it's a project on the way, but it's a cardigan. And I sometimes feel like I want to make a granny square blanket. I really do, but that's like in this project, it's a big project, but every single like row is different. And I feel like with granny squares, I find it hard to find the motivation to do like, 100 times the same square. It's like it's a bit too it's a bit too much for me. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I've started a granny square blanket multiple times, but I never finished one. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, I know the end product is great, but for some reason it's just so boring. This doesn't get boring. This is different every round. If something, it can get quite tiresome. Also, I had a lot of I ordered colors blindly online, so I don't usually like to do that, but my regular crafts shop didn't have the type of yarns I wanted. The black one is from there, but I would have quit the project if I had only this yarn. Around 200. Oh my god. And with granny squares also, like, for me, I can make 100 squares, but then I have to weave in all the ends and then I have to join the squares. Yeah, everything. Yeah, all good. My husband checking that my technical side of this project is working. But as I can see your comments, I'm pretty sure it is working. Yeah, like the weaving in the ends and joining the squares. Like, I think I could hide myself to do the actual squares, but the rest of the project, that I don't know. I could just make the squares and then I could send them to someone else to join them, to finish the project. That would be brilliant. Then I could make like 200 different. Yeah, it is the worst part. Absolutely worst part. And also, like, when you make the square, you can, if you make many, you can focus on the TV and just, do it. But the weaving in the end and the joining, you have to actually pay attention to what you're doing. So you cannot, trick your mind that you're not doing anything. You just have to really do it. The same goes with this one. There are easier rows with less color changes and stuff like that, so I can watch some TV and stuff like that. But if I'm constantly changing, like this flower here, then it's not like I just have to concentrate and actually see what I'm doing. And by the way, if I go out of the picture, just let me know. I sometimes go this way a bit along with work. How many? 5, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. It's tapestry, so it will be on her wall like a poster, but I don't like posters, so I'm making this one. It gives a nice acoustic help for her room, which is in the attic, so it has like some acoustic problems. So this one will help, I hope. And also it looks much nicer. And we have like a deal for this Christmas with the family that we're not buying Christmas gifts. 2, 3. So we can either make something or, you know, skip it all together. We're saving for a house, so, you know, every penny matters. We're not ruining Christmas, that's not what I mean, but just only buy what we actually need. If we need something to. We haven't bought Christmas presents within adults in my family in years, but the kids are now want to take part as well, and I'm completely fine with that. Yeah, the colors, like I can show you. I bought a lot of colors. Like, first of all, the yarn was for sale, so it was only €1.50 per skein or something like that. So it's the very, very, very basic cotton yarn, and because it was for sale, so where is it? Here, me. So I bought a lot of colors, like a lot. I have at least 3 different blues and 4 different greens and stuff like that. So the only ones I knew how much I need were the white and the black, and everything else I have basically double, except the dusty pink one, which I already knew. It's brilliant, but I have like 3 gray ones and 2 brown ones and stuff like that because I didn't know, and I wanted to see them all like here so that I could, you know, see how they look together as well as alone. So I know the color thing is a bit hard, and I still think that even though I like the orange, it's a bit too orange. So this flower is a bit Halloweeny, but the other one I had was even worse, so I decided to take this one. Black one. But I really, really, really like this already, and that gives me a motivation to finish it. It's easier when you're doing something you actually want to do, you actually like, and you want to see the end result. Gives motivation. And as you can see, the more I speak, the more this takes time, but you know, it is what it is. The back side is also very interesting because I am doing only right to left. 1, there's a lot of ends and a lot of floating. I don't carry any yarns because I don't want to change the thickness of the fabric. But I do have floats and ends. And especially in the beginning when I was testing things. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with these. But you know. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'll be probably back tomorrow to stream some more because I have the next shift I have at work is on Thursday, so I have a couple of days. Some coffee. And now I need some black. But because I have this black stretch coming, I might take a new... No, I will continue with the old one. I try to not float more than 10 stitches because then it gets a bit tricky. There are some exceptions, but this is not one of them, so. 1, 2, 3, and 5. My favorite so far is the rose flower. Thank you for the subscription, Amy. I upgraded from last week. I was just streaming from my phone. But because my wonderful, wonderful husband promised to help me, I now have a full setup with my computer, so I can have, you know, a bit better experience for the viewers and myself as well. One, 2, 3. I heard something. Hey, Catherine. Thank you for the subscription. 4. Then we need a couple of blacks, and then we're going to the brown flower, which is one of the colors I'm not really sure about, but it was the closest of the original picture. So I'm gonna go with it. Where's my yarn? So there's a new week starting. Do you have any plans? It's been so warm this weekend, but so like... It's been a very strange weather, to be honest. It's been warm, but not summery. I don't know if that's like, if that makes any sense. But it feels like autumn with summer temperature. It's weird, if you ask me. Let's move the picture a little bit so we can see what we're doing. The brown flower. So this is the color. I think this is the closest one to the original picture. But I think I will see how it fits in when it gets larger. Maybe it is just the fact that brown is not like my favorite creative color in general. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I also have a system so that my yarns don't get tangled, and the system is 1, 2, 1, 2. That the yarns that are on my right hand side will always go on top, and the ones that are on the left will go under, so I will keep that up the whole time. so it makes it a bit easier. Sometimes I mess up, but not too much. And because we're only going right to left, and if I do that, just one. If I keep doing that, they will never get tangled. Because when I did a lot of samples and swatches, and I was almost like losing it, because when I did back and forth, it was like a nightmare with the yarns when you have this many colors. Two black ones. Knitting, crocheting, not knitting. There is a difference. Believe it or not, it's a quite big difference. I do know how to knit as well, but not as well as crochet, though. But this is otherwise very simple project if you just have the patience for it. It's only single crochet to back loop, so it's seriously one of the easiest one in technical senses you can make. The only thing is that they're changing colors, and 1 and 2. And the size of the project will make it a bit challenging. It's not challenging in a technical way, but you know, time consuming, and you have to know how to motivate yourself to do it. Need more black yarn. I think I have to take some coffee. I have a big coffee mug next to me, a thermos to keep it warm, so I have coffee at least for an hour. Now we need white, and I think I need a new one. No whites there, so a new white yarn. The ends are sometimes on the way. I only had to frog this maybe once. I frogged out a complete row because I just made a calculation error at the beginning. So that's when you are in trouble. But I try to, it's easier now that you have a lot of focus points here, so you can calculate, you know, just 10 stitches from this black one and so on. But at the beginning, when there was more white and you actually had to calculate, you know, how many and in which part, and this is 260 stitches wide, so there's quite a lot to calculate. I had stitch markers for every 20 at the beginning, but now I ditched them because I don't feel like I need them anymore. Because there's always some color going on, so you can use that. And then I calculate some, just to make sure I'm still in the right stitches. Just to check it. 3. This green one is one of my favorite colors from all the yarn I bought, but I'm a green girly anyway, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And some white one. And now we are finishing with white, and then this row is done. Row number 71. It's a bit over 1/5 of the project done. So I still have a long way to go. But this is a project, then a part of it gets ready, you know, in every, you know, like 10 rounds or something, you get a flower ready or a leaf ready, or you start a new section you've been waiting for, a new letter or something. I was very happy when this one got done. I like this the most. I think it's because of the size. When it's bigger, you can have more details in it, and it looks, this one is not my favorite. It's a bit small, so it just looks, I don't know. And this one is gonna be nice as well because it's big. So if I would redesign this, I would make the yellow ones bigger as well. But I will not redesign at this point. I'm 20 hours down, so no redesigning. Where are you watching from? My usual question. I will send greetings to all over the world, and that's the best part of the live stream, if any. Hello! You know, I put the tutorial out this week. It's ready now. It's easier because you can stop it, pause it, and then continue, and also rewind if necessary. Today we're making a bit different project. I already had, I was doing this, it's been 2 weeks now. 2 weeks now, so you made some progress. This was one of the things, you know, I usually have multiple projects going on, and this was one of those when I was thinking like, maybe this is a bit too boring to watch, you know, compared to like granny squares or something like that, which is something I can show from start to finish multiple times within one stream. But then I decided that it's up to you. If this is boring, it's fine, and you know, next time we'll do something else, but at least we can test it. Yeah, that's what happens. We most of us have something else. This is just the hobby, so you will have to go to school or to work or take care of your family or whatever you have on your plate. I try to, I don't know, maybe substitute my crocheting with like things like watching TV or just going through social media or stuff like that. So I try to get 1 hour in every day. Sometimes I don't, but I try to. It's good for my mental health. Someone else is going for a walk. I'm taking my hook and creating something. It's more like art, I think. I treat it more like art. End of a round or row. This style leaves fringes here. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with them, but I leave them long, so I have options. I could shorten them and save some yarn, but it's gonna eat a lot of yarn anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking, because this is the side, it's not the top or the bottom, so it's the side. So I don't know how they would sit when it's on the wall, but that remains to be seen. After every round, I secure some yarn, or the end of the yarns, if necessary and possible. I don't have a friend for this one until next round, so I will leave it. I just have to remember that it's there, so it doesn't run away. There I have a black yarn, which I will take back to the beginning, because that will run through the whole project. And let's secure this one. Do we have a point? Yes. And I just to make a knot. I don't know yet if what I'm gonna do with all the ends, but this is not a garment, so I'm not gonna weave them in, that's for sure, because that's I think a bit too much work, and because I don't, these type of things don't get washed too often or have the risk of like rocking themselves accidentally. And the orange yarn. So the downside of going only right to left is the fact that you will have a lot of ends, as you can see. Even when I float, but I can't float this yarn all the way back here because that just doesn't make any sense and it wouldn't work. I'm so bad at these names, but thank you for the subscription. I don't want to butcher any names. It feels so wrong. That will stay there. There's also an orange one, but I don't have any point to connect it to. Then I should have a white one and a black one. And that's it for the round. We've done it. Now we make another one. I don't have a religion. I'm one of those people. Does not play a role in my life. And it's not rude. I'm fine. If I find a question rude, I just won't answer. So don't worry. Next round. As we are losing a stitch every time we go to the end, so because we have to lean as we're crocheting, we have to create a new one at this end. And it truly works. I was a bit skeptical with this as I went through all the videos and tutorials and some books and stuff like that when I tried to decide what type of thing I'm gonna do and with what technique I'm gonna use. But I tested this with some swatches and it worked brilliantly. Alright, we have to change the row 72 and we have a lot of white until we hit the first black block of the round. I bought 10 skeins of the white yarn because the white is the dominant color, like the background color of this one, so there's a lot of white in it. I hope it's enough, and I think it will be because I only used like 2.5 so far, and I'm like hitting a spot where there will be less white, and then at the end there will be more white again, and I'm over 20% done, so it should be enough. Just about. The start is always the most boring part. How is everyone's Sunday in general? You spending it with family? You have some hobbies? Or do you have to work? I sometimes have to work on Sundays as well. I used to have a job where I had all the weekends free, but that also creates some complications when you have to get things done, like dentist or stuff like that. And you are always working when they are open. So working on occasional weekends, I think it's super fine, at least for me. Ashy, thank you for the subscription. There's a lot of people joining today, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. When I decided to start the YouTube channel, it's not been too long. I've done this a long time, but my husband is a YouTuber, and I always like, I watch his videos and his lives, and like he's having fun, you know, with basically complete strangers, making friends out of them and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I have a skill too, you know? Maybe somebody wants to see what I'm doing. He's a gamer, so the streaming community in gaming is quite huge. Thank you. This is thank you. This is looking brilliant compared to, you know, the skill it needs, because this is only single crochet, nothing more. So, I mean, basically this is something that a complete beginner would be able to do as soon as they are able to, you know, have a steady, you know, well, just when you have done some, you know, swatches and learn how to keep your hook and your yarn and have your tension, then that's it. Then you can do this. His user is Alisa with Aliica. I think he heard his name. And now we will do black one until we're going to the orange one. So last round we had some white, which is actually something I can cut out now because there is no more white. I have a lot of yarn here, a lot of skeins. They don't fit the picture, they are here, but there's a lot. So every time I have an extra, I try to delete it, so then it is a bit easier. You know, yeah, but you have to, I've been changing colors in this project alone like thousands of times already. And it's like, I wasn't, you know, it wasn't this easy, but I tested and tested and I came up with a system that, you know, is not too tight or too loose and just works for me, keeps the yarn in place. And maybe when I mastered this skill, I will make a tutorial about it, but it's just something that you just have to do. And with this project, my first project this large, I've just had to do it so many times that I'm getting good at it. With an one Aliice, so you have one L too much, and the last letter is A. Have a good day too. The best possible Sunday. And a great new wig as well. Yeah, that's correct. And now we're going back with the orange, so we can have this orange flower almost completed. Well, I do have a couple of rounds. I will move the picture a little bit so you can see better. Here we go. The light one is the one, the row we are doing at the moment. So this will be last round with the yellow centerpiece, so we can say goodbye to the yellow yarn for a little while as well. Can have just one orange one. Yep, that's him. Hard to miss. One, two, three, 4, and 5 orange ones. More black. Since I did crochet, it's a different style. Like, no, it's not. I just it's the only possibility to me for this project to make sure that, because I have single rows of like up and down going rows of colors, so I do yarn under just to make it a bit more crisp and distinct, the change of the color. So it's not something you have to do. It's just working for this one, so it's not a new style or nothing, but sometimes in tapestry crochet we just do it that way. And I want to work it flat because it's getting heavy, as you know, it grows larger, so I have it on a table and it's easiest to take the yarn from there. And I'm using basic cotton. This is a hobby yarn from French Cotton 8/4, whatever that means. It's recommended for 2.5 to 3 millimeters or 3 to 3.5 as a crochet hook. I'm using 3. I have quite tight tension, so I could have gone for 3.5, but it had only ended up even larger. Larger work than it already is. And I wanted to keep it quite tight so that if I put it on the white wall, you won't see the wall through it, if that makes sense. I need yellow. Nope, just one. Yeah, and I think that cotton is a very good choice for tapestry. It's at least for my style. It depends what you want, of course, but it's matte finish, and you have a lot of colors available. And I'm also one of those, like, I don't shame anyone, but I don't want to use the acrylic yarns. I want to use nature's own resources. It's not completely cruelty free to have cotton yarn either, but I think it's better than plastic. So I do most of my work, whatever it is, with cotton or bamboo or wool, or the blend of those. And sometimes I know it's a question of expenses, because sometimes those materials are very expensive, and I know that acrylic yarn is very cheap to purchase. So if that's what you go with it. As long as you have a hobby and you're doing something, that's perfect. But for me, the cotton looks better for these type of projects. And this is cheap. The yarn is not expensive. Of course, you need a lot if you're making a huge project, but if you go to the hobby website, HOBBEE, it's 150, €1.50 per skein if you order more than 10. So it's, in my opinion, not too much compared to like any other. I don't think it's any more expensive than acrylic yarn or. And I also like yarns that have just single color, because I like to be the boss of the color changes. So even if, well, in socks I use multicolored yarn, but that's the only. I've also seen a very nice project with multicolored yarns, but it's just not for me. Just one black, then two orange. Black again. Doo-doo. And then two orange. And you can also start tapestry with a bit smaller projects than this one. And also, if you take thicker yarn, it will work up a bit faster. But this is one of those crazy projects I get myself into every once in a while. You know, you just see a picture of thing and you're like, yeah, I can do that too. That type of project. My mom said I'm crazy. And to be honest, when I was estimating, yeah, I was like, yeah, 300, rows, that I'm gonna do that. It's gonna take a lot of time, but I'm gonna do it in 1 month, and I'm not gonna fucking do this in 1 month. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter. I have time until Christmas. This is a Christmas present, and it's only September. I can do it. 3 and 4. And back to the brown flower after the orange one. I don't know, it was the logo, it has had a brown flower. I find it. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. But I don't know what I think of brown flowers. Maybe not my choice of design. But I have to be true to the original because the receiver of this gift is a huge fan of Fleetwood Mac. So it would be very wrong to change it to my liking. When it's not for me. Two more. And then black one. Just one. I need to move the picture. We are not seeing anything. Even I'm not seeing anything anymore. Like this. Shows the rest of it. One black and then 4 brown ones. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I was thinking about I don't know where I would this chart is based on a Fleetwood Mac. I think it's an album cover, but making the chart was super annoying and took a lot of time. But if someone wants to make the same project or they have those new generation fans at their home, I'm happy to offer the pattern. Just let me know the chart, written or pictured. For this, I think that the picture works better because you can check that in what part of the work you are in and what's coming next, rather than just reading that. Yeah, what's your project at the moment? I always want to know. You know, I can start the 10th project I have unfinished in my shelf if I get some motivation. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then 2 black ones. 3 brown ones. And 3 black ones. I'm like the crazy lady of Pinterest using and Facebook groups and stuff like that. Always looking for motivation for the next project, even though I haven't even started the finished the last one. Do you have some seasonal project underway now that we are closing up to Halloween? Yeah, it's September, but we are closing up Halloween. I think I have to do some knitting as well. I'm out of wool socks at the moment. I have one pair, but the rest of them have holes, so I need to make new ones for myself. Are you using the circle for something specific? or just training. I hate doing circles. It's very hard to keep them flat. For me. Thank you so much. And hello and welcome. There's quite a few of you today. Remember to subscribe if you like and enjoy crafty lives. I try to be live at least once a week, usually once a week. But sometimes I have more time and I'll be here more often. And I also do like all of my projects and new projects and things like that. So even though this is my first large scale tapestry, I only done small ones and then did some. Do I have white here? No. Did a lot of research to start doing this, but I'm the crazy person that jumps head first. Thank you. Oh, you beginner. That's great. Just keep up with it. I promise you. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Like this summer, for example, I found that the crochet tops are a huge hate, like within the young people. And I've done, well, I'm not that old myself, but when I say young people, I mean my kids, like teenagers and stuff like that. And I made like 3 tops, just basic crochet tops for my daughter and her friends. So it's nice to get the recognition for this granny sports I'm doing. They call it granny sports. This is a tapestry will go on the wall, like a painting. Yep, absolutely. Like a poster. This is a panned poster. I can show you. I will just go a little closer, no further from the, so you can see a bit too. This is the end goal. And as you can see, I'm not too far from the beginning. But it's like a poster. This is a band from, I believe, from the 70s, which is having a new, fan base in the teenagers at the moment. I don't think this band is existing anymore. I'm not sure, but I don't think they exist anymore. But happy forever. Thank you for the subscription. Oh, too close. What was I doing? 3 black ones. 2 and 3. Hello, Romania. My great no, let me calculate. Great grandmother was from Romania. Green one. It's a few generations, but I'm actually never been to Romania. I would like to, but so far I haven't had a chance. Three and 4. Next one we will have a blue one as well at the end of this. One, 2, and 3 black ones, and then we need white. Yeah, this is cotton. Yeah, 100% cotton. But that yellow one looks so ugly in the camera. It's not that ugly, really. It looks like neon yellow, but it's not. I promise. Yeah. 8 to 4. And this is recommended for 3 to 3.5 millimeter hooks. Nope. This one is a budget buy from Hobby. That's the Danish, I think it's Danish yarn selling craft company. I think they only deliver to Europe though. That's my understanding. Of course, I haven't tried. But it's funny actually that some yarns are very popular in the United States and I can't even have them here in Europe and the other way around. So the market is really divided. So I have to use a lot of the website that search for yarn substitutes if I find some nice things I would like to do. I've seen pictures of Romania, and the folklore and tales and everything you have is quite nice. Hello, Vixen. Did I say that right? I always feel like an idiot when I try to pronounce people's names. My language skills, Magda, are a bit limited. What I can accommodate is English, Finnish, and a little bit of Swedish. If I try very hard, some Danish and Norwegian may come to the mix if you speak very slowly. But that's it. I'm making. Yeah, that's it. Like Joanne's and I think the Michaels is the other ones that you're talking about. Like they don't deliver to Europe at all. I can't even find them from Amazon. It's. I would like to try some of them, but nope, not possible at all. And I'm making a tapestry piece for my daughter to her room, so it will be a wall hanging tapestry. And this is row 72 out of 300. So, but I'm actually traveling to US next summer, so maybe I just make a yarn haul when I'm in there and fly them back here. Feel stupid, but yeah, I've seen a lot of those. And they also have like right now, I see a lot of videos. They have some yeah, that's it. Like it's always a risk if you order, not straight from them, but from another place. But I've seen a lot of videos about they have a lot of like anniversary specials, and I think they had some Halloween specials that people were hunting, and I'm here watching in Europe like, yeah, nice. Looks nice. I won't even try. Someone said that people sell them on eBay, but like I'm not gonna take the risk. It's after all just yarn. Looks nice, but it is just yarn. Yeah, but it's just the Fear of missing out kicks in when you see those videos. Scissors! We should just get hyped about some yarns here in Europe as much, so then they would be missing out. Yeah, I like to think this more like an art than a crochet piece. Of course, it's crochet, but like art. I think that's pretty much it. If I would paint her a picture, I would consider that art, so I will consider this one as well. And she's very appreciative for all of my work. Like, they call it the granny sports, but she wears the clothes I make. And like, she really appreciates everything I make for her. And of course, I don't make anything before I've cleared it with her that it is something that she wants. But it's very nice to do something and to be sure that it is actually used. I know tapestries, I know nobody ever believes, again, I'm saying this again, but this is my first tapestry piece. So if I can make it, you can make it. I don't know if I'm good at it yet. At least I'm very slow. But it's coming out great. It takes time, and I hope I get faster and faster over the time. But it's my first one. I've made some small 2-color test pieces, but that's it. That's it. But like I said, I think they have a big like crochet skin in Romania and Bulgaria. I don't know. I'm from Finland originally. I live in Ireland these days. In Finland they have very nice local yarns, and they have it here as well. But the one they make in Ireland, it's quite thick and coarse. It's hard. It's different. The Finship wool we had in Finland, that's soft. And that's great, but it's also very hard to source here. There is so I mostly order my yarn from this shop, the hobby shop. They have all the price points and stuff like that, so I can choose what I want. And then I try to source wool things locally as much as possible. Not always possible, but I try. The black one and the white one. And mostly when I do interior pieces like pillowcases or this type of things, or blankets or anything, I use cotton. And when I do clothes, depending on for which season they are for, I will do cotton or wool, or mix of those. Last project I did. When I do color changes, the single stitch get overpowered by the surrounding colors. That's why I use yarn under, and also that's why I use back loop only. So you can see here I have single stitches here, and you can see them clearly. It's because I use back loop only and yarn under, both of those, and then you'll be fine. At least works for this yarn. Possibly not for every yarn, but this is my go-to. Hello again. Sorry about my language limitations. By some standards, I speak a lot of languages, and even though I am from Finland, the Eastern languages are not one of the ones I speak, unfortunately. I know. I surprised myself with with how good this looks to be my first one. Positively surprised. But I'm one of those people who just tries. I try. If it doesn't work out, I scrap it and do something else. But this worked out better than expected, actually. I know. Sometimes I just feel it would be nice to know if people are saying hello or something else. Let's see. Next round, 73. Again, a lot of white at the beginning. I also love the fact that if you do a crochet video, it's like anyone in anywhere in the world can check it out and do it just based on the video. There are some differences in, how stitches are called in different places of the earth, but still, I sometimes get mixed with the US and UK terms because in Finland we use neither of those. We have even different ones. We have actual names for the stitches instead of numbers. No, sorry, no Romanian, no. I've been raised as a total Western, so Swedish, Finnish, Swedish related languages, and English. When my great grandmother came to Finland, it was a very different place. So even my grandmother doesn't speak any Romanian. So being different in Finland at those times, not so great, not so easy. Hello, hello, and good morning. It's afternoon here, but good morning. It's so nice. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a great day ahead. It's Sunday after all. I don't know that it's a great gift to speak many languages, but English is still the one I use the most, like at work, at home. My older daughter is learning French. Oh, I do. I think all of my friends crochet or knit or do something like that. I don't know if this is a older millennials thing. We all wanna crochet and bake sourdough bread, which I don't do, but that's still funny. I would if I had a proper kitchen, but our rental does not have a proper kitchen and at least not a proper oven, so I'm not baking, but I would love to. And my kids are learning too to crochet. That's a brilliant idea. I think. I'm always ready to teach anyone who wants to be taught. It is a great hobby, you know? I like to say that it can get expensive, but it doesn't have to be expensive. So it's very accessible. You don't need many tools. You know, you buy the hook and you buy the yarn and the scissors you probably have already. And it's very creative. So you can basically do anything. I think that the crochet is I think it was a bit forgotten for a while, but now it's a trendy. And I don't want to say trendy. That's not what I mean, but you know, it's like it's a socially accepted hobby at the moment. And I think that the amigurumis and stuff like that just brought it back up again. I haven't done many amigurumis though. I made one baby Yoda for my daughter when she asked. It was fun. But that's my career with amigurumis. I'm more of a... I like to make clothes and interior pieces. That's like my jam. And then I like to knit socks. But socks I knit, I don't crochet in them. I think knitting socks is easier and faster. Yeah, that's it. I think like I'm turning 35 and I think it's the same. Like when I was a child, I was taught to knit at school at a very young age. And when I was a teenager, crochet became a thing and I started, and it's been now, I don't know, 20 years. And I think that the amigurumi is something so new that I just have to, you know, switch something in my brain to, you know, do that. I've made more like traditional pieces, if that's how you can call it. But yeah, I made one Baby Yoda. It was fun, though it takes a lot of concentration, and it is something that does not, how I would put it, it's not very forgiving, if that's how I can say it. It's like if you make a mistake, you can totally see it. And I love the amigurumi pieces people are making, and some are even freehanding them, which is mind blowing to me. Like, seriously, you can just whip up a doll without any like instructions. It's like something I still don't get it. We are attaching the orange one again and going for the orange flower. Let's move a picture a bit. My daughter is 8 years old as well, the younger one. All the ages are welcome here. As long as if they are very, very young, they have their parents' permission. Make 2 orange ones for this one. A black one, orange one, and black one. I still think that the orange is a bit too bright. I don't know why. I just have the feeling. Finding a good orange in general is a very hard task. I would like it to be a bit more muted, not much, but a bit. But maybe when the whole thing is done, it doesn't pop out so much. 1 and 2. All right, we can actually cut out the yellow one because we don't have yellow anymore. I don't use my phone anymore. Haha. Because I got some help from my husband to set up my computer. So I have a camera here. This one is a webcam. And then I have another one which shows me. That's also a webcam. And then as you can see here, this is the chart is from my computer screen, which is here. And then I also have this scene which has my work and me. And this is like high tech for me, but I have help. But I know many people only stream from their phone. So you are basically what I did last week before I had this set up, because I was complaining that it was hard and the phone was on my way and stuff like that. I only had a stand for my phone and I streamed from my phone. So that was it. I had nothing special. But now I have this, and I am using Streamlabs. What is it? Streamlabs? Yeah, but I've seen those bracelets. You sometimes get very creative with the design. Thank you, Karen. I've seen them in Pinterest. I love to crochet baby clothes because they are so small and they get ready quite fast, and you can choose the softest of yarns and the nicest of colors. There is no baby pink crocheting for teenagers, so I know it is very high tech, but I would have never pulled it off myself. But it also makes this a lot easier. Like the camera is on top of the work, not in front of me, so I have nothing here, so I actually see this what I'm doing, so I don't have to be like this or this around the camera, which I did last week, and I was so annoyed by it. And then, of course, last week when I was filming my actual work, not myself, somebody was there telling me that I must be ugly because I don't show my face. So thank you, Bianca. Yeah, but it helps to either be, it helps, it's not necessary, but it helps to either be, you know, technically skilled yourself. Oh, it was only 2. Or have help. For me, it's always help. One and 2. Where am I? 2, 2, there. Lost count. More coffee. My husband just told me that I missed a sub. I don't know who I missed. I'm sorry if it was you, and thank you for the subscription. You are well taken care of, everyone. 1 2. And then let's make 2 black ones. We are getting at the end of the orange flower again. Then we have some black, and then we have the brown one again. Nice. Thank you, love. I said I want to be in 500 when I end this stream. I still have a few to go. I think we're taking a little bit of break. What was I doing? One more orange. And then black. Because I need more coffee. A lot more coffee. After this round. Or row. It's a monster of a word. Did you Google it? I might have. Three and 4. And white. What do you want? I need a break, honey. you want to make me coffee? Yeah. Yeah, here you go. It's cold. Thanks. My family is listening to me. I have a coffee delivery coming up. 1, 2, and 3. Supportive punch. And now we will move on to the brown flower once again. We have a new color coming up. There is a mustard yellow in this round incorporated into this flower. I hope it doesn't look too much like diarrhea when it comes together. Trying to make a blanket. Rubber band. Like the type of rubber band you used to like tie your hair, or am I totally missing it? That's new to me. If I actually concentrate more on doing this and talking to you, it will take, depending on the row I timed at the first with the most white rows, it takes 20 minutes. And with the rows that I have, like the one I'm doing now, which I have a high amount of color changes and multiple flowers going on at the same time, it will take 25 to 30 minutes. So, a lot. And I can also like admit that when I crochet, I'm not the fastest one, but I'm one of those people that I want every single stitch to be correct and not even a strand or a fiber in wrong place. So perfectionist at that count, I would say. So I do not crochet to be fast. I do crochet to be perfect. This one. I've been planning because once again, I am way too active onlooker on many groups of in Facebook, and I also watch a lot of videos of crochet videos in YouTube, in TikTok, and I also, stalk all of the people in Instagram. There has been a lot of talk on clover hooks. This is one of the cheap ones from Amazon. I think this works just fine. But somebody said that the brand Clover, whatever, should be way, way, way better than what I ever used before. They are quite expensive, but I have been thinking about getting one of those anyway to check if it's worth the hype. Don't know if it is, but apparently it should be a lot better than any of the ones I'm using at the moment. I also have some odd one out. I also tested I think it was a bamboo hook, but that wasn't my thing. At least with cotton, I don't think it worked very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I also try to not make this I think that crochet is and it should be, and I'd like to promote it as easy access hobby, which you can do with, you can start with just a couple of euros, couple of pounds, couple of dollars, whatever you have, so you don't have to put more in. So I kind of want to promote that you can do it with the cheapest possible. Of course, it's always, if you have the resources, you can buy better yarn and stuff like that, but you don't have to. Thanks. Coffee. Damn, it was hot. I need the new yarn, the mustard yarn. This also looks in the camera just yellow, but it is mustard, I promise. This is the yellow one, this is mustard. And only one for this round. One mustard stitch. And then we go back to the black one. I think it fits well with the brown one. It will be fine. I'm telling this to myself more than anyone else. The colors in this project, they were very hard to decide on. I had a lot of troubles doing that. I changed my mind multiple times. The only one that was actually hit was the dusty pink one I have here. That was brilliant color. Just one brown one at this point, and then 4 black ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Two black ones. Two 3, 4, and 5. Let me see. I have to. Oh, then we will also have blue here. So we need a little bit of blue. I have some bobbins. I've done mainly the green and the blue because they might be going on multiple of those at the same time. I may have to make the blue one. I don't know if I have it. Just one, and then white. Yeah, but that's like this round. I have new colors coming in, and I also have like talked a lot, which is fine. That's why I am here. If I'm in a hurry and I need to concentrate, I won't be live. But I like talking to you guys. And when I promise myself to come here, I also, you know, keep myself accountable for putting these projects forward. Two. I also have a more white coming up, but I think I have to take a white bobbin as well, or a completely new white. Or I can float maybe that one. It will be too long. Sometimes it is just easier to add another color, so you don't have to cut them. You can just keep going upwards, like right now here. This is a bit too far to float, and also if I start a new one here and then continue here, this stretch is also a bit too long to float, and the next one will be even longer. So I will put in a new yarn for this white stretch here. So when we meet here, I can drop it and continue with this one. I think that's the best choice at this point. There's a lot of white coming, like these long stretches that go upward. So that's the easiest for me, I think, just to take a new white one, so you don't have to cut it. You can just keep going with it back and forth, and only like 3, 4 to float back and forth. So that will be just fine. And I think now that I do this a lot when I'm going with the chart. I did the chart once, but if you, let's get a bit closer. Like here, I have 2 black ones, which now, at this point, when I'm looking at them, they look out of place. So I'm gonna change them to be white ones, because I don't think, I may have misclicked. And now it's a bit better, I think. I'm also thinking about this thing here. Then maybe I should put some white one here as well, just to distinguish it, like this. And maybe this and this, as no, that was too much. This, I think this is fine now. So, because this is the first and probably the only time I'm doing this chart, I'm trying to fix them as I go, just in case if someone else wants to do it as well, so they can have the chart from me. I have nothing against that. Just let me know if you want it and I will send it to you. Let's make it a bit closer, because now you can't see it at all, like this. Yeah, so if you want it, I'm happy to send it. So white one. I have this small end of a skein here, which I will use for this short distance. I need an extra wide one. One, two, three, and 4. Then some more black. Just one black. And then we go to the green one, which I have here in a separate. There's not many stitches in this green, but it appears in many places, so I have divided it to the small bobbins to be able to easily incorporate it in the places I need it. 2, 3, and 4. And now I need the blue one. Let's see if I have enough. Yep, the blue one. So we are getting to the end of this round as well. So after the leaf of the upcoming flower, we will only have white left. And that's when I'm gonna take at least a break. Do you think I should still continue, or have we seen enough today? 2, 3, and 4. If you want to hear tips and tricks, I'm happy to share as well. Just let me know, and I need a new white one. If you have questions, I'm not a professional, but I've done a lot of testing. What works for me might not work for you, but what works for me might be perfect for you. And now we will just speed with the white one until the end. There is a lot of white on the edges, both sides, up and down, because I wanted to, I think that it brings it all together quite well. I could have made the picture bigger to take more space, but I actually added some white to all the edges because I felt like it was so busy that it needed to calm down a bit. And that's why we have quite a lot of white, which is of course a bit boring to make, but it looks good. So far it looks good. And then we will clean the other side. And we are ready to continue if you still have the patience to watch me do another round. Or we can come back another day and rest the rest of the Sunday. Rest and rest. It's a school day tomorrow, so lunch preparations needs to get on the way. Of course, as usual. It's been almost 2 hours. Oh, I've had a few stitches of practice. I have a system I use, which is that I put the yarn. I can take the, do I have something that is not attached to anything? The yellow one. I take the normal where I put my yarn, and I have here in the back, I use my middle finger to put the old yarn in place and the new yarn in place under my middle finger. and then I can tighten them up, which makes it easy to just continue like it was the white one. So the trick is this one, this finger here, that keeps them in place. So I just like replace the white one with the yellow one. And that is what makes it easy, at least for me. Any other way I've tried haven't worked so well. And if I have two yarns I'm going back and forth with, the other one goes under and the other one goes over, but there's always the middle finger keeping them here tight when I do the change. And I highly recommend it. I don't do any slip knots or anything when I change colors. I just replace the color with another one, and when I go back the round, you know, to clean up, I just tie them up to make sure they are not running anywhere. So that's why I don't do any actual attaching or slip knots or anything like that. I just replace the yarn, and with Tapestry, I think that's the way to go. There are different ways, but for me that works. So the color change is easy and relatively fast once you get used to it. But I always have my middle finger here anyway, for some reason. That's the way I do this. So to put the yarn under it makes a lot of sense. I hope that helped. Kami, sorry. Thank you for the subscription. And when I was about to start this project, I was planning it, I watched a lot of tutorials from different people, and none of them did it that way. But when I started to do this, I just did some testing and more testing and more testing, and that is the way that became natural to me. So now I'm doing it, and only it, and it at least works for this project. Hello! Having a nice Sunday? I hope relaxing one, with some good weather, good food, maybe some crochet. And now that I have these loose ends here, when I go back, I tighten them up, not too much, but you will learn the way by looking at it. And I will make a knot, nothing more than a double knot to keep them in order. I don't know. I'm not weaving in the ends. I know that. It is. I think the trick to that technique is that I didn't take someone else's technique and think it was the only one. So I've made a lot of color changes in this project, and this is my first project like this. So I went into it with very, very, very open mind. I don't know yet. I kind of want to back it, but then I don't know yet. I think that might be, but I think that maybe I just take some textile glue to secure the knots and just leave them there, because this is going on a wall, so nobody's gonna see the back. And it doesn't show on this side that I have all the ends here going, you know, around. So I don't know, like, I don't want to do work that is not necessary. But then again, I have to block it and see how it behaves when it's on the wall and how it looks. And then I will go from there. If it needs backing, then I will do it. But yeah, now that I have these changes, loose ends and stuff like that, I will just tighten them up and make a knot and I will go from there. I will probably watch some more YouTube videos to see how people are, you know, finishing this, but it doesn't make any sense to leave them in because it's not wearable. It's not something you're supposed to wash regularly. It's not, it should not need that secure like cleaning up as leaving in the ends, but and I mean it will be thousands of ends in this one, so that is a whole nother project. I can send this to someone if someone loves to do that. Then you can do that part. I hate it. On top of everything, I hate it so much that it's not an option. The yellow will stay here. I don't cut it because it will continue straight up, so it makes no sense to cut it. The brown one I cut because this is a way too long distance to float the yarn back to this end. So it's cut and tied up. There's also like white ones that will go straight up that I will leave here. And also the green and the blue ones, which are with the leaf that we are now starting to make. And then here is some, the orange one as well needs to be cut because that's too long way to float back to the beginning. Like this. And at this point of the project, for me, the most important thing is that it just stays together. I don't know if you see what I'm doing. This I highly recommend starting. The bigger the project is, the more obsessive I get with it. This is my first tapestry project. I did a lot of research and I've done a lot of crocheting, so I'm not a complete newbie when I get to this project, but this is my first tapestry project. The only one I did before this was a test project for this that was like 20 stitches times 20 stitches, which was something I wanted to test out to make sure that my plans would be working in what I'm doing. Oh, this one more. And this is also like a non-urgent project, which means that I do other project in between. Here we go. And I have a lot of yarn here, which I will show you now because they don't fit the picture in other words. But I have a lot of like yarns here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different strings. So you need to keep them in order to be able to, you know, someone have things under control. And let's see. And I also have a lot of colors here to go. Not all of them are going into this work because I ordered some colors in double, some even triple, because I wasn't sure, like for example, if I wanted to have, where is it going? If I wanted to have like which gray one, for example. So I ordered all three and I ended up with this one. It was the nicest one to go with the other colors. So I always have use for the other ones. I don't know which project I'm gonna do, but some projects someday. This is my like the go-to yarn, so there's never too much. Also the orange and the yellows, I took a lot of options. And also browns and blues. Just to, you know, see them. Yeah. I think I'm leaving the bag as it is. we will see when it's ready, and I will, you know, put it on the wall and see how it behaves. If I can see the ends of the yarn like through, like somehow, like if they are making it look, if they make it look worse than it actually is, then I have to do something about them. But as I said, it's not a blanket. It's not meant to be used by a person. It's meant to be looked at. So when I put it on the wall and I look at it and it looks great, that's where it's gonna stay. So makes no sense to use too much time to weave in the ends if it serves no purpose. This is gonna be the end today. I need a break. This will stay. And I will back up my work. What I do with my work is that the yarns that are still connected will go in the middle of the work. And then I just nicely pack it up so I don't lose any yarns. I don't lose any stitches. But as you can see, like this, what you gonna do with this? I think that the only option for this to clean it up would be the backing. But I don't know if it needs even that. I saw someone put a little bit of glue in some video, like textile glue on the knots to secure them. I don't know if I need even that. Or why would I need that? I don't know. As a wall hanging, I think it's enough to just tie them up. I have some loose ones that do not have a friend, so to say, so I don't have another one close by to tie them with. Those ones I will do something with, but almost every single one of them has a pair here, so they are secure. And this would be a, I have also like a bag of I can show you. I ordered a bag of yarn, like a cast one, like this. So I was thinking about using all of these to make a one crazy colored, as big as possible wall hanging piece. Like, you know, just put every single one in them and just see what comes up. You know, like a Picasso type of thing, you know, just throw them in there. Yeah, I ordered this. This is from Katona, from Sheep, yes. Like a color pack. They had 109 colors in this bag, and because I'm crazy about colors, I wanted to see them all. And now I kind of want to make something that includes them all. So this is from Amazon, but I think they have their own website as well. Let's see. It's the wrong side. I will write it somewhere. Just a second. It is me. Let's go there. Hello. It is. Let's see if I SSC sheep, yes. And the yarn is Katona, but they have different ones. Sheep, yes. So that's I don't think it was too expensive. Of course, if you have a project where you need yards and yards and yards of the same, of course, it doesn't make sense to buy this one. But I have plans to use them all for a single project, and that's gonna be crazy. But I hope it's gonna be good crazy. Thank you, Kemi. Thank you so much. And hey, we'll be back at least next Sunday, if not before that. I have some time off the following week, so I will go back to work only on Thursday. So I might have a surprise stream coming up in the early this week. So if you didn't subscribe, please do that, and you will be notified when I go live again. And the next project we'll do on live will be either this one, or if I get the yarn for the cardigan I was making, then we will finish that one. We are a little bit short on the pink one, so I can't finish it right now. But yeah, it was 2 hours well spent. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the company. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the subscriptions. It was a very, very productive and lovely stream. Thank you all so much. See you again.